Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the inner light that is within you. Most people are not aware of the inner light that is within themselves. But when this light is ignited within you, you would realize that there's a divine spark that is in you. And when it ignites, you would experience yourself as being omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. When it ignites in you, you never look on the outside for a Lord, a God, a Savior, a Redeemer. You find the saving power within you. You find the redeeming power within you. And this information would make people call you stupid and crazy. They would even say blasphemy. Like, for example, if you listen to me and you born and grew up in any of the Caribbean islands or in any country whereby you've been raised to believe in secular Christianity that's pointing to look outwardly, and you've been raised to look at the Bible as literal and secular history, you would think that I'm crazy. Okay, because this inner light that I'm speaking about, it is in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and even in the books that were omitted from the Bible that they took out. And so this inner light that is in you, they want you to believe that it is evil. This light that is within you, they don't want you to discover this light. You see, for example, if you go up in the Caribbean and you activate this light within yourself, you wouldn't look to politicians to take care of you. You wouldn't look to preachers to show you the way of salvation. And you wouldn't look to the academic educational system to really educate you. You would see the ills of colonialism. You will see the masses being kept blind because that inner light in you can never activate without that inner eye in you is open. And when that inner eye is open because of that inner light, you would have certain insight. And you will see things that you have never seen before. You would hear things you never hear before. You would have an understanding, inner standing, overstanding, whichever word you want to use, that you never had before. For example, I remember after my awakening, one night I stood overlooking the city of Kingston, which is the capital city of my country. Okay, Haruna, aka St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay, Haruna is actually the real name. Okay, St. Vincent and Grenadines is a colonial name. Okay, and I remember the intelligence within me says to me, you see everything that you're seeing there is the expression of a thought. It was in someone's mind. So all the big buildings you see in there, all the pole with the lights, the electricity, everything you're seeing, all the houses, everything you're seeing is the expression of thought. And I had that aha moment. That's when I realized that everything is mental, everything is psychological, everything has to first be a thought, it has to first be an idea, it has to first be imagined. And people fail to realize that when they disagree with me and call me stupid, when they call me crazy, when they say blasphemy, it has to first be a thought, first be an idea, and it has to first be imagined. And they would only do that when I tell them that the Bible should never be taken literally. That the Bible adjusts the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically, must be understood metaphysically and esoterically. It must always be pointing to look inwardly and not outwardly. But my brother and my sisters, the reason why I could come before you and speak about these things is because of the inner light. I remember quite vividly when I was trapped in secular Christianity, I met a man who introduced me to some products. Okay, some herbal products that was called inner light colloidals. Colloidals. Okay, where he was more speaking about keeping your body more alkalized than acidic. Okay. And at the time I was having, stomach issues and so on, and I was vibrating to what he was saying. And so I had a conversation with the man because he was just visiting the country. Okay, he was operating in the United States of America, but he would have lived in Grenada, or born and grew up in Grenada. He was from Grenada, I think. I think the man name was Mr. Greenwich, something like that. Okay, and so I got some of the products from him and so on and all of that, books and everything and so on. And so I was happy. And so I went to the church I used to go, and I tell I meet this man and so on, and he introduced me to this, this inner light colloidals. Well, the pastor at the time was a woman, but even though she was a pastor, she used to all them say the pulpit is not a place for a woman. So she used to use people like myself and put me on the pulpit and so on. Okay. And other women in the church was against her because of that and so on and all of that. Okay, but that's another subject for another time. Let me get straight to what I'm saying. She went on her computer and researched inner light without researching the inner light colloidals. Okay, and she went on inner light and she saw all kind of thing about the occult and so on and all of that. And she had, start spreading my name. People going around say, "Oh, I involved in this, involved in that, and all of that." She ended up and had to apologize to me when she realized it was inner light colloidal and she find the products and so on. Okay, but to cut a long story short, I realized the occult just means that which is hidden. And the Bible itself is an occultic book. Okay, but they don't want you to know that. So they keep you in fear, doubt, guilt, shame, judgment, condemnation. And you're all running and hiding from yourself. That is why most people never would know that they are both God and the devil. They would never discover that. Okay, they would rather have someone to blame or some entity outside of themselves. But when the light is ignited within you and your insight goes to another level, your IQ goes to another level, and you start to think more deeply, then you start to realize that your real identity is your divinity. Okay? And you will realize that it is thoughts that is creating your reality and creating your personality. And as a man thinketh in his invisible self, in the invisible world, which the Bible refers to as his heart, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The heart is speaking about the seat of consciousness, your existence itself, your consciousness, your awareness, which is invisible. So this visible, tangible, physical world, I think, to be so real, it's an illusional. It's illusional. It's an illusion. Okay? So, my brother and my sisters, seek to have that light activate within you. The preachers would discourage you from having this light activated within you. And those who join secret fraternity and secret brotherhood and secret society in every country all around the world, they would want you to join their community to get this kind of knowledge. They don't want you to discover this kind of knowledge outside of their community. So when you discover this knowledge, they will want to invite you into their Kabbalah, their community. But if you're willing to stand on your own, okay, and have a good conscience, and do not allow your soul to be trapped. Because I've been into the dream world and see people's soul being trapped. And they're still holding secret, and I know they're holding secret. And what they were part of. And they do not know I have that kind of innate ability to know. You understand? So, my brother and my sisters, I would encourage you to take this message from one who's definitely a true mystic. Okay? And they have never taught the people of the Caribbean to accept and embrace their mystics or to even believe in any mystic. They tell them believe in preachers and politicians. But all of that is just a part of colonialism and keeping the masses in slavery, mental slavery. So, with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me and what I'm saying, if it really makes sense, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, if you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. If you like to get my books, the links are down in the description. And if you want to do a one-on-one with me, you can reach out to me by way of email. But whatsoever you desire, my last encouragement is to make sure you check out all of the links that are down below. Okay, and definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.